Welcome to another edition of the Book of Jake. I believe this is episode number 21, if I'm counting correctly. But before we get any further, a couple of things. Please like, subscribe, and also if you can share, and that will help me. Also visit www.bookofjake.my. It's my site where you can pick up my book for really cheap, 39 ringgit 90 cents. Okay, so today we're doing a slightly different podcast. I'm speaking to a very, very old friend and sort of a student and a colleague and so on. Almost, how long do I know you?
More than 20 years, definitely.
More than 20
Close
years.
to 30 maybe.
30 years, yeah. So this is Nazri Noran. He's the CEO of Media Prima Audio. But we're not going to talk about his career here because one thing that's intrigued me is Nazri has a son who is on the spectrum, Nias. So this whole episode is about, how he encountered this, how he, found out how is he coping, what is the coping mechanism, and how is he supporting his son. So without further ado, Nazri, maybe you start and just take us through this journey on about your other two children, and then, Nias came along and Lara and...
Lara, Ian, my eldest, two eldest, and then Nias, my third, and then Naila is my fourth.
It's like a baby factory. Another 3 more, he'll have a futsal team. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So when we had Nias, obviously it's our third kid, and there's a gap between my second and my third.
Okay.
So we didn't expect to have him, but when we had him, we were like, okay, so it's just muscle memory lah. But I was in denial. I thought it was normal. So mother's instinct is actually true lah. So my wife picked it up.
When was this?
And
How
this
early?
Was as early as 1 year old, 2 years old. She kept saying to me that this is not normal. This is not normal. He's not normal. I said, why is he not normal? He's okay. He wasn't really crying. He was just quiet. He's just doing his own thing. He's
Not
just focused.
verbally responsive.
Not
Okay.
responsive at all. That's
Okay.
the only thing. And I did not know that. So she said,
If you don't know, Nazri is a very quiet person also. So
Yeah.
could have been taking after the father.
introvert. Yeah. So I said, okay, maybe it just takes a bit of time. He's still young, and we'll see how it goes. But after the second year, 2.5, I just remember correctly, we tried to call his name. He's still unresponsive. So he was just doing his own thing. He started walking when he was 7 months old. That
Oh, okay.
surprised me.
Okay.
That was like, wow, this kid's special, super special. So I thought maybe it's a miracle baby lah, because my son and my daughter and all that, they walked like when they were 9 months, so 11 months, 1 year, But this one was like 7 months. So I thought maybe he was really strong.
Okay.
And when he fell, he did not cry.
Okay.
That was a bit like weird to me. It was like, okay, how special is this?
Good pain retention or non-emotional?
Non-emotional at all.
Okay. Okay.
So he wasn't like crying. He felt
okay.
pain, but it's just like, and then that's it.
Then
So
it goes
usually,
on.
So,
But was he typically from that age where dia macam manja or no?
he's manja. I mean, he doesn't like notice people that he doesn't like. He doesn't want to be with them. He's just okay with everyone, and he just wasn't responsive. He wasn't like verbal. He wasn't socially, talking to us or anything like that.
Okay.
All he did was when he wanted to eat, he kept doing that. Or what he wants something, just doing that. So we don't know what he wants.
Okay.
You see? So he was just nudging us. So maybe I thought, okay, maybe we have to do something. Just
Okay.
go for a checkup. So we
How
went to
old was he then?
almost 3 years old.
Okay.
So we said, okay, let's do it. We sent to a few doctors. They said it was normal. Only when we went to a specialist after the doctor said, maybe you should send to a specialist and just go into really full health checkup and do everything. So we did that. So after, maybe that was like a couple months later, about 3.5, and the doctor said, there's a sign of that he's on the spectrum. And that shocked me because of that, oh my God, this is really true. My wife expected it, and she said, see, I kind of knew that. So I said, okay, so what do we do? So doc said, still early, but you do need to have continuous, checkups, do a bit of training, and just figure out how you're going to do this, because there's no answer to it.
So at that point when the doctor told you that, your son is autistic or on the spectrum, what went through your mind? Is it like, did I do something wrong? Or
Yes.
yeah, okay.
A lot of things came out of my mind.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't say much to my wife at that time because I kept a lot of things to myself. But she was very vocal. She said to me, did we do something wrong? Is it what we did is just like balasan Tuhan and all these kind of things and all that. And I was like, maybe at some point it is, but I guess we have to really think about maybe this is something for us to change our ways.
Maybe it's a gift, yeah.
Maybe it's a gift. And so we said, let's not compare to what we did to our first two kids. They are older now, but let's see what we can do here. But at the same time, we had our fourth, just about 1 year apart, about 1 year plus, right? But she's like normal. She can talk when she got almost to 2 years old. She was very chatty, very like my wife lah. Very talkative and all that. So she was normal.
She is normal. So.
Yeah, very, very, very. So, but during that time also, when we were trying to raise our son, she was like the angel, guardian angel for him. So she became like a big sister rather than the younger sister.
Okay, it's
So
interesting.
she understood it automatically without us telling her. She did it.
Do they have a non-verbal way
do.
of communicating?
They do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They do.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like nudging and all that. Yeah, they do. The siblings, they usually fight and all that. But it's more like that caring, fighting, but then you care for each other and all that. So they're very close, which is a great thing. And sometimes she feels that now that she's grown up, she's like going to 8 years old this year. So she kind of understands it. Every time she talks to me, it's like, Daddy, why is Nias like this? He's special, right? Yes, he is special, but you are more special because you are looking after your brother.
That's a good response. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I feel right now when I think about it, we do feel at times that we always neglect her because focus so much on the son because he needs so much of
extra attention. Yes,
he's hyperactive. I can tell you that. Our furniture at home is all broken, destroyed. I changed my TV 3 times, and I got the latest one. I got like double, screen so that he cannot poke into it. He loves poking into stuff. So only this year, this Raya, we changed our furniture. So to think that, okay, he's grown up already, he's 9 years old, he won't be that aggressive. He still is, but at least he's more careful and he's a bit more responsive when we say no. But you have to, the way I communicate with him now, different to all my other kids, but also in my life, that I don't raise my voice immediately when I don't like things. I have to tell it in a way that it's a softer tone.
Okay.
No, but it's like, no, So assertive, more like, it kind of, because when I did that, I learned it throughout my years with him. When I did that, he immediately puts on this emotional kind of retaliation when he says he get upset. Just by saying no, he's like, get upset. The whole day he won't do anything. He will get upset, pull tantrums, won't eat, won't sleep, won't do anything. Just because I said no to him. So my no now is so different. So when I say no, that he understands it, he push it away. And I just look at him and I just say, okay, you're okay, right? So I kind of have to follow up with that no. So in a way to show that, hey, I said no for a reason. And it's not for me to just be aggressive to you, be angry at you, be upset with you, but I care. That means I care. So I have to pay a lot more attention to him now. I have to pay a lot of attention. That's how I changed myself personally. That I'm more patient.
So you've become more patient because of this journey.
Yeah.
How old is Nias now?
He's 9 years old.
9 years old. Wow. So he's already 9.
And he's still wearing diapers. That's one thing that we cannot get him to do yet. He's still, although he can go and he can command, I need to pee. He doesn't say I need to pee. He says pee. Pee, poo poo, that's it. But he doesn't want to go to the toilet. He will do it in his pampers. He still doesn't want to wear pants without pampers. He still wants to wear it. So even though he can do it himself. So this is the things that we're still struggling with. Yeah.
So in terms of like, like is normal a normal situation?
No, it's not.
So everything you take into consideration of Nias's surroundings when you go on a holiday. So what about traveling, plane and all that?
Okay, so we haven't gone on a flight to anywhere that is like longer than 2 hours because we don't know how he would react. So we did take him as far as Thailand. Okay, but he has to have enough sleep before that, enough food. That will get him into a good mood. If lack of sleep, lack of food, there's no way. So even when we go out to eat, we have to, sometimes my elder son or my daughter and all that really wants to have, certain type of food, this type of food, Western, pizza, whatever. And we have identified where we want to go. But if it starts raining, There's no way because Nias doesn't like rain. He doesn't like thunder. We have to make a U-turn or detour to somewhere else where it's
So he doesn't like the sound of...
yeah.
Okay, so
it's almost like he knows it's going to rain, even though we know that, no, it's not raining. It's just cloudy. But he detects it. Like 5-10 minutes later, it rains. Like, oh my God, this guy, he knows the weather.
It's premonition.
Yeah, so his sense is superb.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to get to also. So you think about Nias, and usually people on the spectrum have certain advantages.
Yes,
what is his advantage?
So, and we're still
special skills.
We're still learning about him, but I think one of the things is because we sent him to PPKI school. We struggled with that in the early years. The kindergarten that we sent to, we changed about I think 5 times because he couldn't cope. He doesn't like to wear the uniforms or not. Maybe it's the color, we don't know. Teachers surrounding, we don't know. We went to international schools, thinking that he needs special attention, no matter what, we pay lah. But 3 international schools rejected him. There's no way, we don't want him to be a part of our curriculum. So in the end, somehow, we managed to get him to a special school under PPKI. It's a program pendidikan khas integrated under the government, which is, we didn't know.
I didn't know this existed.
Yes, it actually existed. And we got in. Usually you need like 6 months to actually get in, and somehow...
You pull strings?
I did not. Neither does my wife.
I'm just kidding.
But I think it's a gift from God lah.
Alhamdulillah.
We prayed, Alhamdulillah, inshallah. In 1 month, somebody called up, we help you. We actually got into Shah Alam. So, well, it's the closest lah, the best that we can get lah. Only this year we changed him to Siti Alam, which is much closer. Now, what he learns in school, what they say is, when he gets to Darjah 1 to Darjah 3, it's all about social skills. There's no like proper teaching math and all that. Tak ada langsung. It's all about him trying to discipline himself,
interact
and take care,
and all that.
take care of himself, which is great because he loves to go to school now. I don't have to wake him up, force him, nothing.
Yeah, it's great.
5 o'clock is like clockwork. He's up. He'll be waking me up. He's my alarm clock. By about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, he'll be off to sleep. Very easy in terms of that part. But when he gets up, you really have to be awake, take care of him, do whatever he wants. So we have this habit. He likes to go out for breakfast, every day, as much as he can, except for school days lah. So he knows if it's weekend, Daddy, let's go breakfast. He'll knock on the door. So he won't say...
Does he speak vocally?
No, he speaks like random words. Daddy, breakfast.
Okay.
He says
but he's communicating.
Breakfast. But he does, but he doesn't like say it in a way like a full sentence.
Is that how you got the name Breakfast Hot?
In some ways it does relate lah. But it's really good. But it's important that we have to habitually somehow keep him on a schedule that he is comfortable. It's a routine, right? So he wakes up 5 a.m. Okay, get him ready. He'll bathe, prepare and all that. But when it's school day like today, he gets ready. He likes to wear the clothes himself and all that. But of course, we have to prepare him. He cannot do it himself. And then he will go to school. But the habit is he must be there. But by 11:30 is usually when his school ends. He comes home. Don't get him to do anything else after that. Because we tried to add him for a therapy class afterwards and all that.
Doesn't want it.
He was on a tantrum. He didn't want to do anything for next 2 weeks.
He's done enough for the day. He wants to rest.
Yes. Okay. So we know for a fact in a day, you want him to do something or focus on something, it's 5 hours max. And that's like a norm now. So we know that.
Does he have any special skills like drawing or music?
He does.
Yeah.
So he picked this up himself. So I allow him to have smartphones, but of course there's schedules. And the thing about this is, it's not like typical kids that I have, usually watch some stupid videos or fun stuff and all that. He actually watches educational stuff.
Oh, wow.
And he finds out himself. So he knows how to operate the smartphone. So I give him my used iPhone. So it's an old model. So he will pick up all these images that he likes. He keeps drawing it. Right now, this week, every day, he's been talking to me about sea turtles.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And he's been drawing it. He watches that video. He draws it. So
maybe you should start getting him some proper art stuff, and
I do. And every time I take him to a toy shop, he doesn't look for the typical toys. Legos. Legos and maybe drawing pad and some color pencils or markers.
So that's very interesting. So I've heard about people on the spectrum who become very great artists because they see the world in a different way, not our way. So So the last part of this, I want to ask you, how has this affected you as a leader? What have you extracted from your journey with Nias?
Yeah.
And how are you using it in running Media Prima Audio?
I learned so much from him. I learned so much from him. I think you've probably seen that in me as well. I become more empathetic. I listen more. I take time to actually listen to what's going around because of him. Because I cannot rush into things.
Great.
I gotta adapt to what he wants and make sure that he's comfortable, and then react or help out whatever that he needs. I have become more patient. I'm very impatient actually. I'm very impatient. But he taught me a lot about that, and that has changed me 360. Even my wife tells me that.
Yeah, I think one thing I noticed is you listen more before you answer, which is really good. So apart from that, what leadership skills do you think you've sharpened through this journey with Nias?
I'm more attentive to things because he's very, how do you say, he can really go out of spectrum or out of tantrum, out of discipline if he's upset about something. And it can hurt himself. So I have to be aware of his surroundings as well. For me also, I have to get a bigger car because of him, because he doesn't like small spaces.
Okay, that's the excuse.
That is the excuse.
No, I know what you're saying.
So he's very active. He doesn't like to sit still. He loves skateboard. And that's also very important to me because he needs to be active. Because he eats a lot also as well. I have to watch his weight. But because he burns it so fast, because he just jumps around, run and all that. So even for me, I have to make sure that his surrounding is safe. I cannot have sharp things, really like designer things at my house, my furniture and all that. It's all simple stuff. If it breaks lah. So I don't have to worry about it. But it's just those type of things that I worry. He got cut. He wasn't even crying, but he needs stitches. So to me, it's like, wow. It's like, I worry about, how he can hurt himself and really not care about it. But I worry because I'm a parent, right? I don't know what can happen.
So what is the it's great that you picked up all this. So what is the future for Nias? And before we end, maybe you can give some tips on parents who are new in this, who have kids with spectrum, which is, it's not actually a curse, but rather a discovery. So what are your thoughts on this?
One thing I learned so much is that progress requires unlearning. I have unlearned so much about myself because of him.
Interesting point. Yeah.
I have to do this with the company. Although I got some experience in radio in the last more than 20 years. But although it's the same business, I have to unlearn because it's progress. Because lots of technology and all that. And I have to reskill myself as well. I started to read a lot of books. I don't like to read.
Good.
I'm picking it up. I read your book, finished it.
Thank you
so much. I know a lot already.
Thank you.
So I'm picking up other stuff as well. Learning other stuff that I'm not comfortable with so that I understand how to manage this because I'm still learning about how to handle him.
Nobody is actually prepared for this journey, so it's just the truth. But for new parents, what would you recommend, and how do they approach this? And what were your top 3 tips for parents who are, who have, have a special kid?
It's a blessing. It's a miracle. Don't take it like, this is probably a sign from God, a curse or anything like that. It's not. It's not. Now that I know this, it's really a blessing. There are times that I'm so happy that I have him, and there are times that he's happy that I'm around because yesterday I came home a bit late because I had a meeting and all that. He was really crying, calling out for me and my wife because we had a meeting outside. So he was waiting for us. But when he saw us, he was so happy. I was like, okay, this is one of the things that I spend less time at home now. I spend less time outside. I spend more time at home now.
That's good.
If I go out also, I'll probably take them out to more makan and all that. And maybe just go for a gym just to keep myself healthy because I do need to take care of him. He's very physical.
So you got to take care of yourself. And then
I have to.
What is the second thing you give parents who's got a special kid, how would they approach? Because like I said, it's very daunting. I cannot imagine myself in this journey, but it's very daunting. What would you say to them?
Take it one day at a time. Because there's no answer to all this. You are learning about
Every day is a new lesson, right?
It's a new lesson. You can hear it from people, do it this way, do it this way. Even I can tell you, do it this way, but that's my experience. I got that from people that I know, that I met, who has kids who are on a higher spectrum than my son and all that, who are, even my brother-in-law and my sister, they have a son, Down syndrome daughter who has a heart problem. That's massive, right? So I said, look, you know what? Mine is not so bad. They probably have
big challenges. So it's not comparable. Everybody's got a unique journey.
It's different. But take it one day at a time. Don't get upset about all this. This is all a blessing. Learn it. This is, again, it will sharpen your skills.
Great. So any parting words before we and how can people reach you if they want to ask a question? You're on Instagram?
Yes, I am. Just find Nazri Noran on all platforms. You get it. The names might change a little bit, but Nazri Noran lah. I would like to hear more people who have some situations with their own family and all that, because I learn from them as well. At least get some tips lah. I do want to see or get involved in some association. I still have this mission that I want to create an association where all kids who have problems with the spectrum and all that, to have a place to go to.
That's a noble cause, yeah.
Because there's lack of it here. Edri, there's one.
Fortunately,
Edri went all the way to London to
Manchester,
and all that. Manchester.
Should have moved to Liverpool, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah. So, but look, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are going through that. You're not alone. Do reach out, share. Don't be afraid. Because I was afraid at once. I was like,
I remember.
I quite malu, so I didn't know how to do it. But then I brani a bit. He also encouraged me and all that. And then people started to think that, hey, you should share this because people would like to learn from you.
Very, very, very strong ending there. In the sense that I guess nobody's ever prepared to welcome a baby with on the spectrum. But what a journey. I've seen Nias he's 9. I can't believe he's 9. I remember him as a baby, carrying him as a baby. He's 9 and he's in his own world and he's doing great things. So thanks, Nazri. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Guys, again, like I said, please like, share, subscribe. And if you like this, share it with somebody else who can probably learn about this. Also, don't forget to go to www.bookofjake.my, pick up the book, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.